So, sort of a brief follow-up to my previous ideas about dampening systems for a wide range of things is, one, you could also use this to start replacing hydraulics, which hydraulics are very useful for compactness in a variety of situations, so you can have a really powerful pump, but you don't have to have to drive a very fine motor at the very end through a series of beams and not have the huge giant motor be right at the fingertip and make it move in like a variety of interesting ways. Another thing I just thought about is that you could adjust the system also with much more than other systems with just pumping in air or liquid too to control the system or pumping it out. So you can have a reservoir that way, which then there might be the repairability. If it's air, it's highly repairable because you're pumping from the atmosphere. If it's liquid, less, unless you're in the ocean or something, which then it's a hydrostatic skeleton thing. Air also would be hard on extraterrestrial planets like Mars or something because it has a very thin atmosphere in most places. And there's actually a whole problem with the Martian atmosphere is that it's so thin that air interacts with itself differently because it takes longer to hit it. The vortices form differently. There's not much air to force it and everything. Dynamics are different. And also we design our motors to be more powerful at lower speeds and the higher speeds needs in that one. And then they make a big deal about sending a rover flying helicopter to Mars. But I don't see why they couldn't easily simulate that on Earth with just using a very low pressure chamber, because we have vacuum chambers and everything, and that's not as extreme. Also CO2, which is the main Martian component, easy get. The only problem I really see with Mars is dust being the really thing that gets in the way of simulating it. And Martian dust is something we actually have to travel. So I study a lot more because how fine it is can really cause huge problems with how to filter it and how it clogs up, its particle shape, how static electricity it is, how easy it gets static, and because static can really make it cling to stuff or not cling, or it can damage electronics, and so on. Other stickiness properties, toxicity of itself for designing Mars suits, rovers, and more. So I'd much rather if they had a Mars dust analyzer than some other things they had, like moxie, which they made a big deal about. But moxie is the new rover thing on the Curiosity rover to make CO2 into oxygen and carbon. That technology, the splitting it in electrolysis is very easy to do on Earth with a simulation and everything. And it's very easy to simulate the Martian atmosphere if you know what's going on. And a lot of electrolysis operate over a wide range of conditions, almost the exact same temperatures and powers and everything. So it's even the exact conditions don't matter as much in composition as you would hope. The primary thing is dust, but dust is such a bigger problem with everything. Then you can talk about the atmosphere, but atmosphere conditions depend a lot more than just the moxie unit. So why not have this better basic instrumentation? Instead, you have this really expensive device that uses up a ton of power, and you have to shut down most of the vehicle, and you can't run other things that will give you more data. And beyond that, the moxie unit is also very much still developing on Earth technology. And we're sending out in space instead of developing better on Earth, when we could be using it for Earth's atmosphere and stuff like that. And it's took 10 years to make it specifically work for Mars, when the basic thing is the inside chamber that's not that different. It's outside stuff that's different. The hookup and connections is so much developing that it's already outdated by a lot. But that is like a very, very far digression that just kept going on and on. And I really hate that moxie unit was a big deal there. I just think it was a money grab by some people when they should have just been doing basic science. Well, thank you very much for listening. Please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers in a year and 4,000 watch hours, which is really hard, but with your help, I think I can do it. Also, if you have any ideas for future videos, comments, or suggestions, please leave in the comment section below. Again, thank you very much. Goodbye.